An incident occurred in front of Anshe Knesset Yisrael on Douglas Boulevard near Hamlin in July of 1915. We'll call it the Horsewhipping. Anshe Knesset Yisrael had moved to this location and built a new synagogue structure just a couple years earlier. This is an artist's rendition of it at the time. Here's a true picture of the synagogue after it was sold and became a church in the mid to late 1950s. The incident involved the Horwich family. Here's a picture of the patriarch, Bernard Horwich, in his later years. That's the same person that the JCC was named after in the West Rogers Park area of Chicago. His brother Harris was inside the synagogue giving a lecture to a couple hundred people, lamenting the destruction of the Holy Temple in Jerusalem during the 3-week period it is commemorated, usually in the summer months. The picture shown here shows the 6 Horwich brothers in their prime of life. Seated on the lower left is Harris, and on the lower right is Bernard. Bernard was vice president of the Hebrew Institute. That's the forerunner to the JPI that would eventually be across the street on the north side of Douglas Boulevard until also the mid-1950s. Bernard was chairing the event as he had just finished his introductory speech. A commotion broke out in front of the synagogue building. Several young men started arguing and fighting. One fellow, J. Loebner, the editor of the Jewish Record newspaper, began a tirade against the Horwiches. Others inside the building heard the clamor outside and went to see what it was all about. Around the same time, the 2 Harris Horwich daughters drove up in their cars and heard part of the verbal attack on their father. They immediately returned to their cars and drove over to their father's nearby residence. They grabbed horsewhips as well as their brother Maurice and headed back to the fracas. The ladies confronted the newspaper fellow Loebner and began to horsewhip him in the body, face, and shoulders, shouting, "We'll teach you to tell falsehoods against our father." Loebner suffered his indignities and scrambled away before more harm happened. One daughter, Bessie Margolis, was married to a lawyer. The other one, Anna Friedland, was the wife of the owner of a wholesale clothing firm. Both were deeply involved in charitable causes. The young women were both feisty and glamorous in appearance, but didn't seem to mind getting down and dirty when it counted. Warrants were put out for the arrest of both Bessie and Anna as well as Maurice. Loebner sustained a gash over his right eye, swollen lower lip, and minor bruises. Bessie was proud of her action and did not deny she horsewhipped the man. Loebner, however, denied that the women whipped him. He claimed that he never came off second best in a fight with the fairer sex. Uncle Bernard said that he thought his nieces had slapped Loebner in the face and that it was Maurice who cracked the whip. Bernard said that Loebner had what was coming to him for all the nasty things he had written in his newspaper about the Horwiches. The end result was that the victim wanted to change the narrative to protect his manliness, while the perpetrators wanted to take responsibility and gloat over dishing out street justice. Incidentally, Bessie Margolis died relatively young, 10 years later, leaving behind both a daughter and a son. And so ends the horsewhipping episode. Thanks for watching.